Disruptors and curious minds. Welcome to another episode of Thinking on Paper, where we dig deep and unpack technology and what it means for us as humans. We keep humans in the mix. That's what drives us. We're powered by curiosity. We hope you are too. Today we're talking about AI. Shopify, one of the largest, most successful platform style organizations out there, has issued an AI mandate that basically says, Mark, if you want headcount for your department, you have to prove that AI can't already do it. So if Shopify is doing this, I guarantee there are tons of companies that look to companies like Shopify to help point their new North Star as they move forward into this new world of technology. Today, I think this question, this headline could actually be a lead into our guest and what we're talking about to get to some tangible stuff, Mark. We like to bring it down for folks here. So who are we talking to? What are we diving into? Let's get going.
Well, it couldn't get any more tangible. My goal of today's show is that I want at least one company that isn't using AI to be using AI thanks to listening to this show. I was in Paris last week. There was a very interesting talk I was listening to by the head of the Cardano Foundation, and he was painting a picture of trillion-dollar companies not too long in the future that might have 10 employees. We're not there. We're here. And today we're talking to Ajay Malik, founder, CEO of StudioX AI. He's a technologist, he's a business futurist, he's an inventor, and he's going to be outlining the strategies that companies can use today to start using AI. Welcome to the show, Ajay. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for thinking on paper with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Very excited to be here.
So Ajay, before we get going, tell us about your personal aha moment with AI that you had, and how long ago was it, and what drove you to do what you're doing today?
Wow. So my first aha moment was a long time back. That was 1989. That was my first year, final year project in my computer science when I did from IIT India. And it was impressive. I worked on building an expert system. But then, of course, as you know, we know, all know, AI almost disappeared from the world. People call it AI winter. But AI disappeared, but I was really excited because it could reason, it could provide me a solution based on rules and based on messages that were pre-built. And it worked. And those were megahertz computers those days, okay? We are not talking 4 gig or 5 gig speed.
10 megahertz computers.
10 megahertz.
The early days of 1989. Wow.
Yes, I am old, very old. Those days, programs fit in floppy disk. Probably nobody knows floppy disk, 360 kilobyte floppy disks. And it had full compiler programs and everything. And now 5 DVDs are not enough. Anyway, but my second aha moment, that happened in Google. At my time in Google, I was responsible for engineering and architecture for 9 data centers.
Quick break in the action, friends. Mark, I got a question for you.
Shoot.
What can these listeners do to help support us and continue this mission of delivering groundbreaking content, unique insights, and generating what tech means for us now and in the future?
Well, if we're going to get Sam Altman, if we're going to get SpaceX, if we're going to do a show from NASA, we need more likes, we need more subscribers, we need more energy. And I know the people who are listening to this or watching this, wherever they are, whoever they are, they're full of that because they think on paper. So like, subscribe, help us, help you.
The corporate network and data center cannot be built in a second. It takes time. It takes months. There are negotiations, cities, fiber. There are so many pieces involved in it. And the network traffic was growing every 6 months, doubling. So how do you stay on top of it? And the process was AI. It was not even called AI. It was just like, hey, we need prediction. We need to make sure that we can be ready 6 months in ahead to give orders for what I expect my capacity to be in 6 months from now. That was like, oh my God, that is cool. And this is how you are always staying above the curve. And that is what every business needs. I left Google. I was so excited about AI. That's why I said it was my biggest aha moment. I started my company, and the reasoning was AI can do wonders for business. AI has 2 parts. One is how it helps your business, how you can be ready for business, how you do not make wrong investments, how you spend the money right way, not waste. And on the other side, AI is about creating more content, which is what people talk about today.
Ajay, let's break this down for the listeners that are either working for companies or may have their own companies that aren't really familiar. They've heard AI, they've heard all these talks and stuff. And what are some key areas that they could think about exploring to bring in AI? To you hinted on a couple, but like, what are some more tangible ones that we could like really break down and say, hey, this is something you could try today?
All right. Let me just, before saying that, say what are the core capabilities of AI so that people can think like how I can use AI. I put it in 4 buckets. It can recognize patterns. It can make decisions. It can process information, and it can continuously learn. I think if people put those in 4 buckets as the capabilities, then you can start thinking in my business, is there a pattern that will help me? Is there a pattern that will help me for predicting? Like I can do my inventory management better. I can do my sales calls better, my leads generation better, or my product development testing better, or whatever. Or can I do decision making? How do I make the decision? When Amazon comes and says, hey, 35% of the people who bought this product also bought this, that recommendations. And is there somebody else? Is the, or as a business owner or manager or whoever, responsibility of making every decision is too much, and being the fear of being wrong. So having an advisor on the side, and that's what the role AI can play. Information processing. There is a lot of information. I have data in my contracts, data in my documents, data in my databases, my IoT devices, my non-IoT devices, my tax returns, my passport. We have information so much. My WhatsApp messages, SMS messages, emails. It's infinite. And the last point is continuous learning. I need an advisor who works with, who is not static, who is not like, hey, like when Cloud AI comes and says, oh, I have my information from 2024 September. Hello, that's not a gold medal. Go ahead. I need it up to date. I need the information now. AI can do that. And I think all models are working on that. So these are the 4 core capabilities.
From what you just said, Ajay, and to answer Jeremy's question about where could a business begin with AI, from what you've just said, the CMO, the CFO, the CEO, HR, accounting, doesn't matter. Everywhere, anywhere.
Anywhere, everywhere. AI is solving human problems. Think like this. What is that which you are doing repetitive? What is that you are doing a lot of time? Hey, we make this podcast, and then every time we make podcast, we make shorts, we write things, we write a page, we write a summary. Those are standard things. Anything which is boring and I don't want to do. Every morning I look at it and I have to scan through all my emails and to see which is right, which is spam, and go through my 200 emails that arrived last night and go through and to figure out what is important for me. It's boring. I need to do it, but there is no easy way. Or think like, what is, man, it is so much work to do. I have to look at this. I have to look at this files in SharePoint. I have to look at this. There is a process. There are so many documents. I have to open those contracts. I'm like already tired even thinking about it. And if you have things like this, or this is like simplest, whatever is repetitive, whatever is boring, whatever is tedious, and whatever has a big process. You have a lot of moving parts. I need to see this, I need to see this, I need to see that. Whenever you have things like this in these 4 categories, AI can help.
In your buckets that you mentioned, the one that jumped out is this idea of we make so many decisions. Some studies say that on a daily basis we make 30,000 decisions, and that's one decision was me to make my hands go like this. So some are small and some are big, but 30,000 decisions. It's why Steve Jobs wore the same turtleneck every day. There's decision fatigue, but silicon and carbon, this little gap between the things that we're talking about right now, is trust. How do we trust the silicon to make our decisions? People are wary about that. People are like, okay, well, this all sounds great, but if I put this thing in and I push this button, can I trust this AI with my career? How do we get around that?
Very good question. I had so many discussions, even in my team. Even we have sometimes, even today, very heated discussions. It's, I call arrogance of the human mind. I am better. I am better than machine. I am better than others. I am better at making decisions. How the AI became really picked up. So I think 2014 or 2010, I'm forgetting the year right now. But in and are the models, AI models, which do based on image. They can do image analysis and they can look at it and tell it's a dog, it's a cat, it's a red light, it's a green light, or whatever it is. There was a test. There is a test in Germany in which, you know what, the cars are going on the roads and people are following the rules at green. Okay. And first time the AI computer vision product did all the, they were driving and computer did better than humans. Humans make mistakes. We think we are better, we are superior, but we make mistakes. And we say, oh yeah, I made a mistake. To err is human, and we move on. And but we are like, oh, AI made a mistake. How did AI make a mistake? AI cannot make a mistake. So what I'm trying to say is we have to see it like this AI as a partner, as an assistant, and which has proven to do better than humans. And that's how the AI started becoming successful. AI was able to process a lot more data, provide a lot more results, and on average, they were better than humans making decisions. So will I be able to make sometimes better than AI? Of course. Will I be AI will do better than me? Of course. Will I be equal sometimes? Yes. So it's just a partner. Treat it as a partner. So do
So were
not.
you with that? Were you saying we should give AI a little bit of grace in that it's not going to always be right all the time? Just like I would give Mark a little grace when he's not right on something, or he would do for me. We're human partners on this podcast. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yes, exactly. There will be. There will be errors. Errors are on both sides. But now you have a partner and you know you can brainstorm and you can decide and you can go from there. You know, when you use Claude, ChatGPT or everything, they say Claude can be wrong. ChatGPT can be wrong. It can make errors. And we have to just treat it like AI is AI, not super intelligence.
Reasons humans like to have somebody or something to blame, to direct the
100%.
frustration, to direct the anger. And if a human makes a mistake, it's very easy to find that outlet. If the AI makes a mistake, it's not so easy to have an outlet at all. So just from what you were saying, your message to, so I'm from England, and in England, Jeremy, you might not know this, but we've got a lot of old companies in England, hundreds of years old. They have a lot of data going back literally centuries of information that they keep on paper ledgers in the back office. And your message to them is that today, in April 2025, AI is precise enough, accurate enough, and good enough that they can trust it now with their data.
Yes. And be the human in the loop. You know
Yep.
what? That's it. And that human in the loop, keep it. And the human in the loop will become less and less maybe, but it is still important. It will be important. But we have a partner now and we have to use it because it will help us. You know, people say this hallucination, very common word. Everybody talks about hallucinations. What is an hallucination? Creativity, and creativity gone wrong. More creative. If you are not creative, I can tell you, you can definitely never hallucinate. Hallucinate is just next level of creativity. And sometimes it goes wrong. It's like I start making a painting and I paint, and sometimes painting goes wrong and really wrong. The creativity is needed. Humans, that creativity is there now. Use it. And it will make mistake. It will go further. It will be extra creative sometimes. And you have to stop it, control it. It's like, you know, you do it with anybody.
That's a really cool point. I've never heard anyone talk about hallucinations as happy accidents. I think that's a really interesting thing to think about. So let's point back. So maybe if you know the CEO of Shopify, or if someone else can introduce us to him, one question might be, okay, I need some headcount. Ajay, you say, hey, prove to me that AI can't do it. I do some research. I come back. I'm like, hey, Ajay, actually, it looks like AI can do it. I don't need headcount. I go back, start doing my work. I get AI to do some of that work. It causes a massive error. It leads to an hour and a half of network downtime at Shopify. You call me, you're like, dude, what happened? Why did you bust the system? Like, can't believe you did this. Do you know the risk, the money, all that stuff? I'm like, yo, the AI did it. Like you told me to let the AI do it. There it is. I'm sorry, man. You know, yell at the AI. Like, how do we manage that piece?
All right. I do not know what exactly he said, the Shopify CEO, but I would say it's not about that do you replace yourself or replace the work by AI doing it. It is use AI to remove the repetitive, remove the boring, remove the tedious so that I can get velocity, higher productivity, higher quality. There are the benefits. I want what the mandate is about improve your productivity, efficiency, velocity, quality, reduce your costs, do all those things. Use AI in your job. And once you are using AI, I bet you, I work with companies. I have worked with many companies. AI is always about job loss. Everybody starts thinking about job loss. AI is not necessarily about job loss. You know what? This company started using AI for quote management, for sales, and for other things. They have more work. They had to hire more people to support the business increase because of using AI. So AI is not necessarily about job loss. AI is about improving and increasing what you were doing. You see? And so coming back to the original point, what can businesses do with AI? Business is all about focusing on the top line or the bottom line. Can I add new line items in my purchase order, in invoices, or can I justify my premium pricing? Can I increase my prices? That's the key as the top line. Bottom line is all about, can I make my operations smarter, leaner, more predictable, more scalable? Can I do more with whatever I have? So do better. So top line or bottom line. And I think business should look at exactly like this. Don't jump into it, what neighbors are doing it or what you are hearing others are doing it. It may or may not be even useful for you. Look at your business. You know your business better. You know what? Like humans have DNA, every business has a unique DNA. How it works, how it operates, what it wants to achieve, where it wants to grow. Everything is very unique about every business. Look at it like these are the capabilities we discussed and what will help me. Do I want personalized experience for my customers? Do I want to add a co-pilot inside my products? Do I want predictive alerts? Do I want some coach inside my product training? Think like this. Think like what will help your top line. I tell you this. Go today to ChatGPT or Claude. Write down. Write down 2 paragraphs about your business, what you have done so far, either your job. This is what I do. We do this, this, this. This is what we do. This is what our product. Just write down what exactly it is and say this. Give me ideas, AI ideas that I can do. Give me tangible ideas. I do not need fluff. I do not need ideas which will take years to complete. Put a time scale in immediate 3 months benefit, 6 months benefit. Process ideas. Ask, it will list them. I'm telling you, there will be some ideas you will love them. Everybody will love them.
So keeping humans in the hunt, the art of asking a great question will still be a superpower.
On your point there, Jeremy, one of the things that personally I've been looking into is what Ajay has just explained. Probably for a lot of businesses requires a third party to come in and help them to ask the right questions, to use the right, to prompt engineer, to build the picture, to use the AI, to understand the back and forth and the question structures, to ask them.
Yes,
It's
it
a
is.
job.
You can use the human advisor. You can use a company like me, or there's so many companies out there. Everybody's doing AI. Or you can go to AI itself and ask, what can I do? And talk, have a general discussion. You know what? It is fun. It is fun to engage. I sometimes worry that will we start talking to AI so much? I am emotionally attached to my AI when I'm working with them. And I am like sometimes saying the bad word, sometimes saying the good word, sometimes saying thank you. And people are like, wow, Ajay, you are very polite today to the AI. And it is like depends.
So if you're listening to this and you haven't listened to our episode with Kevin Kelly, it's the one right before this one, the emotional aspect of AI and communicating with AI, we dive deep into that if you want to check that out. But Ajay, you've stated a pretty good case for businesses should start to play around with this stuff. So can we start from a Studio X perspective? This idea of no code AI agent. Can we start there as a jump off point? And like, what is that? What could it actually do step by step from creation to using it on a daily basis?
All right. I will go over this. It's not a sales pitch. Okay. It's okay. You know what? There are many people offering products and services. We are one of them. We think we are special, but it's everybody has to decide and make your own choices. Okay. But I tell you, right, how Studio X helps and what you should be looking for. Okay. In any other product when you are selecting. In the Studio X world, our whole promise is you can use a cloud-based product or you can install it on your premise. You know what? I'm worried. I don't want to put all my books, all my everything, all my personal contracts in cloud. I'm kind of worried about that concept. So you can run everything on premise. So you can decide first thing. Hey, I'm using a cloud version or I'm using a non-cloud. Even though we are encrypting data at rest, data at motion, we are doing all the right security things, state of the art stuff, but peace of mind and sometimes business requirements. If you're a government or defense contractor, you do not want your data in cloud. You are not allowed to. So things like that. Then second step, start with a core of your business. Core of a business is knowledge. All my data, all my documents, all my contracts, all my system. Where is all the information? Like for this podcast, like for your team, all the thousands of podcasts so far and all the information about them. And just imagine you say Studio X, I install it, whether in cloud, I connect it to my data source. That's all you do. Connect. Within 5 minutes, you have connected your data source. You have put all this is my Confluence, this is my SharePoint, this is my uploaded documents, this is my W colon drive, C colon drive, whatever. You put everything. Knowledge is there. Once the knowledge is there, your AI bot is ready. You can talk to it and it will answer anything. You can say, hey, which episode we had a discussion about emotions with AI? Yeah, emotions or any other topic you can ask or give me summary of those topics or give me 10 podcasts which were similar or anything. You can find all the information. Step two, more AI agents around it. Rules. What can I do? You know what? Let me connect my email. And then what will happen is every time I send an email, every time an email comes to Jeremy at thinkingonpaper.com, what happens? It will check. I will send an email to Jeremy myself. And the email, I will say, hey, every morning, look at all the emails arrived since yesterday and just make a summary of the top 3 things I need to do or 5 emails I need to respond and just text me at this number. Done. Suddenly. So basically start using Studio X. You add the knowledge. Knowledge can be in your emails also. Email is your running knowledge all the time or tickets, support tickets. You can create rules and you can create simple rules by using human language, specifying it, and suddenly AI becomes part of your workflow. Now you are offloading your task and start offloading your task, whether it's emails, whether it's sales, or hey, I got a bill of material and I need to look at all the products and see what is the price today. Check it all the web on this. So it's what Studio X enables. You do natural language conversations using the channels you already know, email, WhatsApp, SMS, on your knowledge and connect it to your live knowledge, whether it's email or it's whether your ERP systems, the customer database systems, for everything you connect it, suddenly AI becomes part of your workflow. You start creating workflows. That's what you will do. Within a week, I think you will have a lot of AI elements in your business.
Within a week.
Within a week. Yes, that's the thing. Yes. The key is, you know what? A lot of work has been done by Sam Altman and all the people, smart people in the world. We don't have to invent the AI. We will use it. It's like this Microsoft Excel. You know, like people moved their books. Everything was on paper, thinking on paper. Everybody was writing everything on paper. And they moved to Excel. AI is just the new software. Use it as a tool. You don't have to create Microsoft Excel. We don't have to create Visual Basic Programming language. We just use the Excel and we can do wonders. Same thing with the AI now. AI is the next level. AI is the new software.
That's a great explanation. Using us as an example, and you've actually sparked some ideas for me already. So thank you for that. All right. So if we're spinning up these agents to offload some of the remedial tasks, the repetitive tasks, the crunching tasks, and we have them set to do that and send us outputs that we can now, as Packy McCormack in Most Human Wins talks about, us moving to a higher level of abstraction using these new tools and new information to build new things. How do you manage an AI agent? Like if we had an intern, if we brought an intern into Thinking on Paper to do all of that stuff for us, we have to manage that intern, set expectations. We have to check in. We have to make sure it's doing the right thing. What are some keys to managing AI agents?
I love this question. Okay. And 2 years back, I told my team, we made a company policy. We said the skill is not a differentiator anymore. That I know C, I know Java, I know programming. No, use AI for that. So don't come to me and say that, oh, I do not know how to do that. No, you know how to do that. You know, this question that I do not know how to do that is not a valid question. It's not a statement. You have to just do it. You have to just go to AI and figure out 5 minutes and you will know the answers. And the second part, I said, everybody in the company from today is a manager. You have one engineer reporting to you, and that's AI. Everybody has it. So you are not alone. You are not just working by yourself. You have an AI engineer. You have an AI working for you, and you can get a lot of things done. The beauty is this person doesn't talk back. The person works 24/7, doesn't have attitude, does not get stressed, and does not, it always helping you. Anytime you are like not satisfied, you just say new chat and move on. And it starts fresh. And then the third thing which you are asking, and that comes naturally, Then how do I know? How do I manage this? Is my employee, the AI, working well for me? Is it doing what I want to do? And how do? So the good part is you do not have to do when you are managing AI. You do not have to follow the standard processes or like California policies for performance improvement plan.
HR reviews. Yeah.
HR reviews and anything. You are the reviewer and use it. And if you're not satisfied, learn how to talk to it. That's the difference. And that's the biggest thing in the world. There is a concept of prompting, how to talk to it. AI is like a 7-year-old child with the world information on its fingertips and ready to please and very creative. It will leave no stone unturned to give you an answers at high speed with the knowledge it has. But if your question is not right, you will get an answer.
But what do you do when that 7-year-old starts running down the hallway screaming with scissors in their hand?
Well, it doesn't, does it? Because you program that all in. In fact, the HR yearly review is done by itself. And so because it's continually self-learning, you don't actually have to worry with the 7-year-old running down the corridor with the scissors, because it's all been programmed to not do that, to iterate, to compound its knowledge, to compound its experience, to compound what it's doing correct. And in fact,
you use it. This is the point. And you change it and start a new chat if you don't like the screaming.
it's its own HR department.
Well, what if? All right. So what if?
No, no, no.
So, yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, well, let me just say one thing. Okay, so you are responsible for asking the right question, giving the right directive. That's what I was trying to say. So you know what? It's not like I see bad in the other people. It's because I am the bad. Okay, don't blame the AI. Don't start looking at it. Learn how to use it, learn to how to instruct it well. It will learn with you. It will grow with you. But you have to learn how to ask. And you know what I'm telling you? The better you ask, better answers.
That's a really good point. Again, keeping humans, what, Mark?
In the hunt.
Keeping humans in the hunt. So you could actually prompt an AI in a nefarious direction, obviously, right? And if you do that, the responsibility is on you. But the coupling and tracking, right? I'm just thinking about like, all right, we're society, we're a microcosm. It's me, it's Mark, it's you, and you and I, Ajay, we use our AI, and it's great. And we do AI performance reviews, and it's awesome. We do it for the right things. And Mark's like, hey, as you grow up, AI, I want you to rebel against me a little bit at 5% a year, and the AI would in turn do that, right? Or find ways to do that. So Mark could be down the road cultivating this AI that is aiming to eventually supersede you in a way. So it is all about
that, though. That's one of those things with like, it sounds really nice in hindsight. It's really romantic. It's like, yeah, we should all grow up and rebel. Wouldn't it be great? And if that's your kids, okay. But if it's an algorithm, you don't actually want it to rebel. You wouldn't program that self-destructive rebellious streak
But
into
it
it.
depends. As Jeremy is saying, it depends what you want to get out of it. If you really wanted it to rebel, it's okay. You know what? My top engineer last year, he said one thing, and that was so, he's so good. Okay. He's like 10,000 times better than me. So I am like, sometimes I am also very passionate and I'm arrogant and all the humans, everything worse than normal human. Okay. And, but I question and I want something, and I go after it. And then he said, Ajay, it's okay to challenge me. You don't have to stop. It's okay. Go for it. And that is what it is. What when I see or hear when Jeremy is saying, it's okay. Let AI challenge you. Go for it. Because you know what? Maybe something else will come out which we were not thinking. And if nothing else, you know what? New chat and move on. Okay. So you will be. But you know what? We're talking more like AI like this, but just coming back to the business, right? The applications. So we talked about like you can do applications for top line or bottom line. Top line applications are more around like, hey, how do I do personalized experience, voice control, predictive alerts, coach built-in product, copilot built-in product. Or the bottom line applications could be real-time monitoring in your manufacturing. A lot of people, companies have their cameras, monitoring their factory. But just imagine those cameras could monitor more, that images can be fed to a software, that software can do something more without any having investment or something. And it can look if the machine is down, if a person is hurt, if a person is in an area they should not be, or if a person is lifting a big glass wrongly or something like that. AI can help in those operational things. Start thinking like how AI or computer vision will help you with quality control, how it will help with the safety in the business, how it will help with the Or maybe it will help with your customer support agent. People don't want to talk to bots. I understand. People do not want to and you know what? And everybody is very hot on talking like voice bots. Young people talk with fingers. They don't talk with mouth most of the time, right? So you want to.
Drives me crazy.
So I don't think they are looking for a bot to talk to. They just want chat. So if you are looking at that, so agent assist, like I talk to a customer support agent, but the customer support agent now uses the bot to help. So not the end user. So you can help your customers in so many ways, unique ways, enabling your customer support people to be better, enabling your troubleshooting, your service team to do better, enabling your sales team or inventory team for demand forecasting to do better. Things like this. So there are many applications. Start thinking in those.
Okay, so they get excited. They're like, all right, I believe in testing some of this stuff. And so they go back to their boss and they're like, yo, I found this thing. I think it's great. Boss is like, yeah, that sounds kind of cool. What do we have to do? Well, all we got to do is, put this little agent on our computer. We got to feed it with some data. And the IT department goes, yo, hold on. We're not putting anything on our computer and we're not sending our data anywhere. So how do you navigate internal IT departments?
100%. And this is why I said, if the company is not, even if they are cloud friendly, AI is a bigger challenge. Okay, because AI is using your knowledge and that, and it's not about the company, it's not about your vendor. Okay? Like when I am the vendor to my customers, I have all the best intentions. Why will I try to mess it up? And so there are all the small companies, big companies, even the big companies, OpenAI, they have a cloud and everything. They have the best intentions in the world. But there is a $400 billion industry. That's called the cyber hacking industry. These are the individuals or teams sitting in some room somewhere around the world, and their whole job is to hack the hell out of the system. Find that information, find my phone number, your phone number, last purchase, or your credit card, or your social security, so many things they want to find out. Those people will go after the cloud. And if the AI, you are putting information and that cloud is hacked, your information is hacked, very private information. So IT is not wrong when they are like, oh, I don't want in that direction. Okay. That's why I said earlier also, and we do it in StudioX also, think on premise. Try to put like 20 AI tools, we are using AI. We are using AI for recording meeting. We are using AI for video. We are using AI. Now you have 20 tools you are using. You have exposed your attack surface 20 times. There are 20 places you are connected. You have to be careful. And that is the thing. And then you have to also focus on the ethics of the AI company. Are they using your data to build models and learn and become better and sell those models? Because at the end, that is a very risky proposition also. So you have to think those two things. So I always say, try to find a solution in which your data doesn't leave your building. Try to see that. If it's not possible, make sure the company you are working has strong privacy and ethics policies. You need that. I will not tell IT, oh no, it's okay to let it go. It's AI.
These are some of the most succinct and tangible takeaways I think that I've heard on implementing AI into business. I think, Mark, your point in having you, the listener, test some of this stuff out. I think there's some great nuggets that you could pull out as an action roadmap if you're interested in this. I think you've been spot on, man.
The 80-20 principle, okay, for listeners, for businesses which are listening to this, they haven't started yet with AI or they've used ChatGPT. What is going to be the biggest bang for their buck across verticals? So across marketing, across finance, it doesn't matter, manufacturing, whatever it is. What would be the one or two AI tools that they should introduce first, just to get the maximum impact as quickly as they can?
I have a guess on this one.
Go ahead.
What do you think about customer support?
Our customer support is amazing. Although before that, I will add knowledge here. Enterprise knowledge search, business knowledge search. Knowledge is so crucial, fundamental to your business. It is needed when you're sick for somebody else to take action. It is needed for you to take better actions. It is needed for decision making. It is needed for your better inventory, better production, better demand, better sales. You have knowledge in two types: the text knowledge or image knowledge, and the other is the number knowledge, which is like the numbers, the sales results, the inventory and product, all those things. Those things. I think I would say first go for knowledge, enable knowledge, enterprise knowledge search for your business so that you do You have the answers. You are no more looking for, hey, only Bob knows how to get me a chart on this, or only Bob knows this data. Get that information. That is the first part. Then all these things come immediately. A customer support, agent assist for your customer support, support for your service team for troubleshooting, support for your operations to do a better inventory management, prediction. All those things will come after that. I think first step would be knowledge. I think that's the most important application, because that makes your company, it's like this. All your company is inside with one AI agent, which is there for future. Even 100 years from now, it will have that knowledge. So you have just suddenly transformed all your company knowledge and removed the dependency on one or two individuals or 20 or 200 or some computers into a thing which you can rely on for future forever.
Here's really interesting, and that's great. Now, knowledge and implementing training programs, right, for new employees, onboarding programs for new employees, things that new employees can go to and be like, hey, has anyone else ever dealt with this situation? Here's the human side of this, so what happens to Jim when he gets hit by the bus? Jim knows all of this stuff. He's got 30 years worth of experience. And now you're like, yo, Jim, can you spit out everything into this repository so we can use that experience? And then Jim starts to go, wait a minute. I'm actually getting pretty old right now. My stuff is valuable. My information is valuable. Should I just freely put it into this model so they could extend Jim? And when Jim retires, or when hey, we don't need Jim anymore because Jim put all his knowledge in here. How is that going to, I don't, how are people going to navigate that as owners and also as knowledge holders?
It's a balance. It's a balance. You'll be surprised how many people actually want to offload their knowledge so that they are not the bottleneck. I want to like tell everything so that nobody is always bothering me and I can do what I want to do. Even the senior people, or sometimes people really genuinely care and here, man, I will be retiring in 1 year or 2 years. I need to make sure the knowledge is there somewhere so the business can proceed without me. And sometimes it's a mandate from the CEO. Thou shall do it. And you do it. And you know what? Fear of job loss is natural. But job loss will happen for other reasons. Okay? Job loss will happen for economy going tanking. Job loss will happen for so many things. I think by adding the knowledge, enabling other businesses to use your knowledge, other people to use your knowledge and move fast, 27% of sales deals do not happen because there was a slowdown in the information. Just imagine that each business can be now 27% faster. And that will help you ultimately. Tell me one thing. If you are enabling the business and business is growing, will you be fired? No. Company needs you more and company needs more people, and it's not going to be easy. One point which we keep missing, and we should not, human in the loop. You are that 15% that uses the AI and knows if the AI is doing it right and is always working better. So, and you are improving, you have something else. I don't think people should be afraid of it. But if you're doing if your job is really, really boring, repetitive, and that's all you do, you should be worried.
That's a lot of people. I refer to it now as almost collateral damage, that there will be. We had David Bianchi on a few weeks ago, Hollywood actor. He was saying AI is not fair. The distribution of AI will not be fair. There will be casualties. You are incredibly optimistic, RJ. You're incredibly hopeful. I don't think we've had anyone on the show who is as pro AI in the business world for you. So just to end this, I want to ask a question about the future workforce. I want to ask a question about my kids, listeners' kids, and my daughter is 9, my son is 6. In 15, 20 years' time, when they're in the workforce, things are going to be different. What would you suggest parents try to do to orientate their children, to focus their children's attention to? Where should they be thinking about education? How should we be thinking as parents who are, and I know you said we shouldn't be worried, but we are. So what should we be thinking?
All right. So I will start like this. As a parent, if you think your child can see better, you get the eyeglasses. And that's how your child performs better, because the child needs eyeglasses. Or sometimes you think, oh no, you know what? There are these, what are those, those blue light glasses? They will make you do better with computers and things. You don't really need them, but if you have them, they're better. Or things like that. Parents do that. AI is like that. Treat AI like a tool to help your children and enable your children to use AI. Do not be the one like, oh, don't use AI. No, 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 no. Okay, let them use AI. Use AI and become proficient and efficient in using AI. because you will be the master of that AI. You have to become the master of that assistant, how to use it, how to get more done from that. That is one thing. Expose your children with AI so that they can use it. That is first thing I would say. Second thing is that human in the loop, that 15% is about problem solving. That human in the loop is about the human connection and problem solving in context of human relationships, human context. So you have to really make sure your children are more focused on that problem solving, that the next layer, which is will be always different. And as a human, we will always keep doing it. Keep doing it. Even if AI does it, I do it all the time. But my personal productivity with using AI 25 times. And I believe when you said, Jeremy, that there will be trillion-dollar companies with very less people, it will happen. But the key thing is there is still, what sometimes I'm sitting with multiple AI agents and going into different questions and same questions, and that problem solving, that is the skill. Please focus your children to learn that. That is the most important thing. Like just them learning the Pythagoras theorem, or the sine, cosine, the tangent, the theta, the trigonometric formulas and all those things. They're okay. And I think education is important, whether you do traditional systems, college systems, school systems, work from home systems, study from home system, whatever, doesn't matter. But education is important. And I will say education of AI and how to use AI, important, use it. That will be important skill. And that monitoring, that if the AI doing right, there will be tons of jobs in that. Trust me. That monitoring AI jobs are going to increase tremendously.
Ajay, I couldn't agree more on a lot of this. I think about this a lot, and the next iteration of the human condition in a way, and I think tenacity and grit are going to be important because, like you said, you challenge your employees, your organization. You have the ability to understand and know everything. So go figure it out, go find it, and all of that. So moving through the beginner's mind, Mark, I know there was a lot of chatter on LinkedIn this week about us being big proponents of the beginner's mind. It's not comfortable to be in that spot. It's not comfortable to think on paper sometimes, but I think that is a tool that is a capability that we can cultivate today that seems counterproductive, right? It seems like, technology is just going to do all these things for us, but we need to cultivate these very human capabilities to make sure we can use technology to our biggest advantage. I think you picking up what you're putting down, man. That was great.
All right. Very nice. No, amazing talking to you guys. Really. It was fun. I enjoyed talking about this, and I enjoyed talking in general.
Thank you. Well, we enjoyed talking to you.
In Disruptors and Curious Minds, if you're getting to the end of this episode and you've listened to it, I need you to forward it to somebody that really wants to understand AI, because the nuggets that were dropped by this gentleman here today, the tangible action plan to try and test and learn and get better, is in the middle of this episode. So please send it to someone who needs it. You can find us always thinkingonpaper.it. We'll share a bunch of information about Ajay and StudioX and some of the things he's doing. We have a book club. We're reading Irreducible by Federico Fajan, about consciousness, AI, the difference between carbon and silicon. We're in the middle of all these different worlds. Like, subscribe, hang out with us. Be curious, stay disruptive.
Thinking on paper.